What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today I'm talking about Silo, Season 2, Episode 10. We are at the season finale of Silo. Are you sad? I'm sad. We can be sad together, but be happy and rejoice because this has already been renewed for 2 more seasons. However, Season 4 is the final season of Silo, but it's also good to know that we have an end date, and that these people have a firm commitment from Apple so they can just tell the story over the next, what is likely 20 episodes. So we're halfway through the series and we're at this point, and a lot has happened in this episode. It's longer than usual. It broached an hour. It was like, I think it was 1 hour, 1 minute. Um, but we got Juliet was still in the original Silo, still trying to figure out the final things that she needed. Solo was remembering things. He was remembering the protocols, and he was remembering the directive or whatever. Like the thing that happens. Somebody else is like watching these silos, and they have the power to kill off an entire silo and to poison them. So so he has to go through that with her and to tell her, but he doesn't have enough time. They're running out of time. She has to get back. And she does this little scene where she sort of stands up and Eater becomes Hope. She remembers that was what her mom called her. And I don't know how she remembers that. Was she like a baby? Anyway, I guess she heard along the way that her mom called her Hope and remembered that. So she stands up for Hope and she's like, all you have is each other. You're just each other's family. And she gives this big long speech. And it was Rebecca Ferguson was on fire this episode. Best she's been all season. Like they gave her some shit. You could tell she's panicking. She's trying to get out of there. And Steve Zahn was really great too. Loved his work. He at first you think he's doing some shenanigans, and then you realize that he's just like testing a suit for her. So, but she's able to leave and go over, which is good because the other silo is just devolving into madness. So basically, everybody gets arrested and thrown in jail, and Walker's the only one who's not because she was the quote unquote traitor. So she ends up having this moment with Paula, who like won't have anything to do with her. And then Walker is like, she wants to see Bernard. Meanwhile, Common and his wife are still trying to figure out what to do because they were kind of playing both sides and they're not really sure like who's ahead in this world. And then also Lucas finally makes his way back to Bernard. He's like, I know everything now and it's pointless and I quit. It's the same reason why the judge quit and the guy before that. Like he now knows what they know, and he knows the bullshit. He talked to the door. So Bernard is sort of left without a shadow, and he has this meeting with Walker, and he thinks he's won. And then Walker's like, the funny thing is, because they talk about how they were going to blow up the generator. And, like the funny thing is that the generator's so loud that when you're in the down low, you end up having to create like a series of hand signals. This is almost like a language in and of itself, and we can have full conversations. So what you were hearing on the camera, what you thought was having a conversation, we were having a completely different conversation. So in those scenes and this is where sort of like the audio description failed, because obviously that's a visual thing, is being able to watch this. And I was like, well, both times I would not have noticed what Walker was doing. I don't think it was well described the first time we saw it or in the flashback to the little scene of showing them doing the hand gestures. I didn't quite understand what it was. I get the concept, but how involved it was and how she was able to keep it from Bernard not seeing it. So, um, essentially, they were doing like sign language and like a version of it, sort of. So, um, then uh, she reveals, obviously, like the whole thing was like a plan, it was a setup, and then that's when uh, their plan sort of takes hold. Um, and we see that uh, Dr. That Juliet's father is going to be the one to blow things up, and, give up his own life. He does find out from vicariously from what Lucas said that Juliet's alive, so he dies knowing that. But he's the one who sacrifices himself to blow up the generator, or to blow up, I guess. Later on, you find out that they're missing floors. like there's nothing from floor blank to floor blank. It was like 92 to 95 or something like that. There's like floors were just missing. So we're still not 100% sure, and it doesn't quite answer the question as to what, like, how bad everything is by the end of the episode. So the riot takes place, and they fight back against the raiders, and they're going after Bernard. Bernard's in the sheriff's office. He's sort of got a gun. Lucas he goes to his mom and he's like, it's all bullshit. Common goes in, he's like, he's like, you can shoot me because none of it matters. He's like, I know the truth, and I, like, literally, like, none of this matters. Like, and you can kill me, you can kill my mom, none of it matters. Like, he knows about the poison, so he's like, he knows they can kill us at any time, I guess, probably. So, which is what Bernard knows. Uh, but Bernard had made Common the new tech, the job he had always wanted. So Common goes in, and he has his wife and, I guess, son with him. Um, and they go into that room to see all, like, the relics and everything. He has the access, he has the password. He goes in, and that computer thing greets him, and they're like, "Who are you?" And he says who he is, and he's like, why are you here? And he's like, because I want to save the silo. And the voice says that he and his son need to leave, but that Camille can stay. So basically, this computer system, whoever's trying to save the silo through this thing, is saying that Camille is destined to be the next leader. So all of her empathy and everything that she has had this whole time has paid off. So Common takes his kid, and presumably she's going to learn some shit. We also get to see the fighting kind of stops when Juliet shows up outside, and they're like, "Oh my god!" She's like walking over the ridge, and they can see it on the camera, and then she cleans, and which is what she didn't do before. And then she holds up a thing that says "not safe." Uh, you know, don't don't come out not safe. Um, so then holds it to the camera, and then she tries to break in using a crowbar. Eventually, the door opens for her anyway, to reveal Bernard with a gun, who's like, "What are you doing here? What do you want?" And Bernard just wants to go outside. I don't even think he has a suit on. I'm pretty certain he doesn't. And he's like, "I just want to see it before I die. Like, I don't want to die in the silo." Because he knows what the protocols are. And she's like, "I know everything." And, like, every time he's about to say something, she's like, "Yes, I know this. I know this. I know this. We have to stop it. I know how to do it. I'm 10 steps ahead of you." But then this weird thing happens where, like, a door shuts on them, and then there's, like, this fire that shoots out, like it's gonna burn up the room. She tackles him to the floor, and I'm pretty certain they survived. But also a possibility. I don't think they killed off Rebecca Ferguson, so I think if Bernard's on the floor with her, that they probably both survived. So they'll be back next season. But it kind of just does leave them there. Then we also get this flash, and we don't know if it's to the past, present, or future until the end of the flash. But it's there was some sort of a dirty bomb in DC, And then there's this like first date. I think that was Peter Sarsgaard, sounded like him, who plays like a senator type representative, and he's meeting this woman, and they're having like this banter back and forth, and then she asks him and sort of puts him on a question about, retaliating. Was the dirty bomb real? Are we retaliating against Iran? What's happening? And he puts this, like, he had a little gift for her that he bought. He's uncomfortable with the line of questioning, so he just kind of calmly but politely leaves. But he leaves her this gift, and the gift that he leaves her is this brand new Pez dispenser, which is what Anthony has, the relic that Anthony has. So this is obviously in the past, because that's what that is. So obviously we'll see more about how the silos came to be. We might see more of what I'm assuming is Peter Sarsgaard, because man, that sounded like Peter Sarsgaard. If it's not Peter Sarsgaard, it's somebody who could double as Peter Sarsgaard voice in case we ever have that need. But yeah, just it kind of blows you away, because I was thinking, what if this is current? What if the silos are all somewhere like in like North Dakota or something like that, like in some remote area, and uh they're like a government experiment, but like the rest of the world is like living their normal lives. Um but no, it's in the past, so we don't actually know what the current state of the world is. Anyway, very interesting. A lot of new ideas were opened up. The stuff about the poison, the stuff that they're being watched. Somebody else has the ability to control. I think that's what was when Bernard said, well, technically 51, because they said 50 silos, and he said, well, technically 51. I think that one, that extra one, is the silo that controls all the other silos. It's like the master silo. So we'll see what happens. Is there really a voice that's trying to save this silo and save the people of this silo? Will Camille be given the opportunity to step up? Is she going to become the new mayor or an IT shadow? Like, what's her job? Is Bernard fired? Did he quit? Is he ever going to be granted any sort of, or is he even allowed to sort of still be alive with the kind of knowledge that he has? What about Lucas? Can he, like that kind of thing? So we'll see. But I'm excited for season 3 because I love seasons 1 and 2. It's a great show, and I'm giving the finale an A. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the other side.